The views and opinions expressed in Media Litter Sandwich do not reflect on the views of the network, station, studio, website, sponsors, guests, hosts themselves, anyone or anything else associated or even not associated with this podcast. Maybe not even the person that said them. In other words, do your own research and do not sue anyone over what is said on this show.
Let's just act like I'm not even here.
Who's here? Welcome to Media Litter Sandwich. I'm Toaden from Toaden.com and MediaLitterSandwich.com. And of course, YouTube. And to be, for the first listeners, if you want to be the first person to hear the show or just hear the show when it's first running, go to DV Radio Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And we are on dvradio.net. I'm in the chat room. So, hello, Toad in the chat room. Or, hi, everyone that listens the following Monday when it comes out on all the Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, and to tune in. A whole bunch of places where podcasts can be found. So if you've never heard us before or you want a friend to listen to it, just tell them to go ahead and search for Media Litter Sandwich. So today we are actually recording on a different day here at the wonderful Foundation Studio. This is actually the first time I've been here on a Saturday. I'm recording on today, Saturday, August 17th. So what's going on right now, right down the street, which I can actually see from right here, is the Michigan Comic-Con. So by the time this is out, of course, Michigan Comic-Con is well over. It's my first time recording here on a Saturday. I don't know what goes on during the week, but my headphones, only half of it's working. Not all the microphones are working, but I know Foundation Studio will figure that out. Or I will just come here extra early and help fix them myself.
Not your job, Toad.
Not my job. But I do really love this hotel. Foundation Hotel is awesome. Everyone is really helpful. I mean, they really are helpful. I mean, they only carded you, 3 times? Because you look like you're 12?
Once. They didn't even card me. I had to give her the card. I had to be like, here, take it.
Oh, see, I'm not promoting that.
Maybe don't do that. Maybe card.
But no, Foundation Hotel is always great. And, we're right across from the Kobo. So we are watching cosplayers walk by. I told a bunch of people that we're recording right now, so maybe we'll have a guest come by, and Bradley here will get up and walk around. Now, if you don't know who Bradley is, Bradley's my nephew. He's also my PA. He comes with me to a lot of events. So he's holding the camera. He's helping. Not so much during the podcast or in the week, but weekend events. He's usually around, and he has been on the Meat Litter Sandwich before, usually at conventions. Sometimes he was on the show earlier on, but
he would only let me on out of my box a few times a day.
Why are you in the box?
I don't know.
You'll notice that I have some stuff. The video version is different than the audio version, so I got some different flyers and stuff from the convention today. Things, mostly freebie stuff. So I'll give a couple shout outs here because I got one thing autographed. It was a promotional thing from Motor City Saint, which is about a superhero in Detroit. Everyone involved lived in Detroit at one time, although I think everyone but one person moved to LA. You could think about that what you want, but it's the comic is supposedly based in Detroit. They gave me a free, nice little preview autographed. I thought that was really nice of them. And I might talk about them another time. I don't know. But Motor City Saint. Then we have United States Veterans Creative Arts. This guy, maybe he'll come on at some point. He actually does. He will teach veterans music and stuff for free. And he's also got some. Just look up Michigan Veterans Creative Arts. He gave me some cool stuff. He gave me a nice little freebie print, which is really nice. A red Sonia Conan print, little miniature one, which I do like to collect these little sketch cards. What's this from? Oh, same person. And then we have Astronomicon, which of course we love Astronomicon. We went next year will be the third one. I we've both been to the first two Astronom cons.
And we're going to the third one.
And then we have a bookmark for Yi Soon Shin. Wow, that's hard to advertise on a podcast, huh? Y-I Soon, S-O-O-N, Shin, S-H-I-N. If I mispronounce that, feel free to correct me. The guy was cool to talk to, and the art looked great. And then the last thing we have here is an advertisement for Grand Rapids Comic-Con, which is a Comic-Con I've been meaning to get out to one of these years.
Someone likes Teen Titans.
Yeah, this year's promotion has Teen Titans on it.
Yeah. Why is Jinx there, though?
I don't know. I don't know who Jinx is. Jinx.
Their villain. One of their villains.
Okay, so because I kind of came unprepared today because I was hoping we'd have some other guests, but the floor is open later than I thought it would be. So we're just gonna let's talk about some of these things that people always talk about, like conventions, kind of debunking them.
Okay.
Not so much, but I know we talk about conventions a lot, and we have another convention episode coming up in a couple weeks where I'll talk about other things that I don't like, but that's gonna focus on organization, I believe. So this is gonna focus more like on things that you hear over and over again. Like you hear, bring this list of items, and we could go through a list. In fact, let's just go ahead and open up that list right now.
All right.
So we'll go through one of these lists of items everyone should bring with them, and then we'll talk about other things that people always talk about conventions that may be right, may be wrong. We'll debunk some of these things. So this first article I have is from LA Weekly, 14 essential items to bring to every fan convention. And one of the reasons I picked this one is almost every list I see is totally only aimed at the San Francisco Comic-Con. Or San Diego.
San
Diego Comic-Con. There is a San Francisco Comic-Con as well. So that's first thing debunked. Most people already know this. Besides people trying to come in and interrupt our studio time. Are they trying to get in here?
No, they were like pointing at it like, hey, look at this room.
Okay.
They look a little inebriated.
There's Comic-Cons or comic conventions all over the place. I constantly telling people, look, in this area alone, there's over 40 or 50. Yeah. There's tons of them. So when someone says Comic-Con, it doesn't mean they're talking about San Diego. You don't know what they're talking about. Usually it's San Diego, but you honestly don't know.
They could have just one box of comics in their garage for all you know.
Yeah, there's little tiny trade shows that call themselves conventions, but there's trade shows all the time. So that's the first thing to debunk here, because I just had someone was like, the Comic-Con's already. I thought that already happens. Like, there's so many of them, because someone told me that they need more in the area. He thought there was 2. And
there's a lot more than 2.
Yeah. There's, so that's the first thing. There's a ton of comic conventions everywhere.
Fan conventions in general.
Fan conventions,
that's what you're
fan
talking
expos.
About here.
You're right, because it's not just comics. It's also anime, it's sci-fi, books, and a lot of those mixed together.
Disney princesses in there.
Yeah. This is a comic convention, but of course there's gaming stuff. There's anime stuff. Sci-fi stuff. We go
from novels.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ToadenK, where I have a lot of cosplay event videos, you see that we're at book conventions, and a lot of people are still dressed like Doctor Who. I mean,
yeah,
it all
doesn't matter
merges
what
together.
the convention can be.
Yeah, they're fan expos.
Even at the car show, there were people in costume. There was 1 or 2 people.
Okay. Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah. There's one person show off their car, but one person was just dressed up.
Yeah, and we're talking about street car shows. That was
for
downriver.
Just the city. Yeah,
it was like a nowhere car show, which we'll see if any cars come by right now, because there's downriver. Woodward Dream Cruise. Thank you. Going on, which is I think 3 miles down that way. So, I mean, that's kind of another debunked myth, is that it's only comic books. It's not. In fact, a lot of them are pop. It's all like current culture and past culture. Because you look at who shows up these things. Some of them have all the every other guest to get signatures from is a wrestler.
Yeah.
People don't always show up for the comic books. They show up to meet the guests. I think that's another big debunk is yes, there's guests that people show up to meet, and yes, some people show up not to meet guests because they don't care, and they're there to actually find either comic books or just trade stuff or fan stuff.
And the
or
people-
honestly, just networking is the biggest thing.
And the people that are there to meet guests only are there to meet specific ones. So if you have
Yeah.
a wide variety, you sometimes get left with a couple that don't get attention. Poor Michael Dorn.
Oh yeah, Michael Dorn, War from Star Trek. He didn't have too big of a line when we looked at it.
Only
Neither
time
did Barney.
The
though.
only line I saw at him was 5 people, for 10 minutes.
Well, Barney didn't have that big of a line either.
No, but I've seen at one point Barney actually had a line and Michael Dorn didn't.
Aw, poor Michael. Well,
And
I think
Waldorf, the Muppet guy.
Yeah.
He only had a line for a second.
Well, I also didn't look to see how much they were charging.
All of them seemed like $40.
Okay, yeah, I think that was the base cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, autographs cost money. You know, that's a different thing. Let's go through this list. The first thing on this list to bring. Oh, I didn't even mention it. LA Weekly, 14 items to bring to every fan convention by Liz Ohanesan. Ohanesan, and this article is from 2012. So maybe we'll pull up a more recent article after this. I know there's a ton of YouTube videos, a lot shorter than this one, that tell you what to bring. We're gonna go through this, kind of debunk some of these things, and this says every fan convention. So keep that in mind when it says every fan
So
convention.
I bring the same thing to the Renaissance Festival as I do to the Star Trek convention?
Apparently.
Okay. Always keep your phaser with you.
So number 14, the first thing on the list is sunscreen.
No.
It depends.
If
It
you're
depends.
outside,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like an outdoor Renaissance festival, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, sunscreen.
You know, I the idea of this is probably going in and out a lot. But let's face it depends where you're at. You know, obviously, the San Diego Comic-Con, you probably want to bring sunscreen.
Yeah,
But
'cause
if
you're
you're going to a
waiting
con
in
in
lines.
Ohio in December, you might be avoiding it. Now, if the sun's out, still sunscreen in the winter is not always a bad idea. But
No, not a bad idea because the sun reflects off of
Yeah.
the snow.
I think generally, sunscreen's not a bad idea, but it also depends what you're planning to do. Like,
Winter's
there's a
when I
lot
get
of
my best
conventions.
tan.
Yeah, like some of the conventions, there are 3-day conventions inside of a hotel, and the conventions inside the hotel. Once you get in, you're not leaving that hotel.
Right.
A lot of people don't leave So I think that's convention specific, kind of. Also depends on where you are and what's going on. Because if it's dark and rainy, you're not going to be doing much sunscreen. Or like one year at Astronomicon, the first year, it was a snowstorm.
Yeah, no one went outside unless they needed a smoke break or something.
Yeah,
And-
what do you need sunscreen for during a snowstorm?
Yeah.
Camera, nowadays that's covered with your cell phone. Of course, this was from 2012, so I will give a little more leniency towards that. But even 2012, everyone had a phone on them. Sharpies. Again, I think that depends on the con,
Yeah.
and depends what you're there for.
What are you bringing a Sharpie for?
To get autographs.
But they would usually have a pen supplied, wouldn't they?
Usually,
Yeah.
most booths have their own Sharpies and have their own things to autograph. Let's see here. If you haven't been to a convention, you may not realize that Sharpie is one of the most important things in your kit. Most people still don't have their kit, so I disagree with that.
There's a kit.
You never know when a celebrity is willing to give you an autograph. That's true, but at the same time,
when you pay them.
a lot of time, another one of these lists we looked through, it said always, don't be bugging celebrities for free autographs. And I think that's important too. Don't just always bug people for a free autograph. If you're buying a local artists usually have their own stuff on them. Now, I think it's convention specific, because if you're going to like VidCon, you don't know who, even though VidCon's changed a lot. If you're going to VidCon 2012,
Yeah.
you're likely to run into a small celebrity and want their autograph.
If
and
you're
they
going to
might not have
VidCon in
anything.
2012, can you lend me your time machine for a week?
But nowadays, celebrities at VidCon aren't even allowed on the convention floor. Obviously, people will sneak and go down there anyway, but they're not allowed to go down there. But some conventions, you don't know. You might see a local artist. So if you're autograph hunting, I think that's essential. But a lot of people go to cosplay and show off their costumes.
Yeah.
Which is actually a lot of vendors, it gets on their nerves. They sit there and people block their booth.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, I will give Michigan Comic Con a lot of props for their booth setups because there's a lot of room. They spread things out. It feels smaller than what it is.
Like when we record, if we do have to record in front of a booth, we have them interact with the booth. That way we can get the booth and the cosplay.
Yeah, I you know what? You bring a good point because we didn't do that too often today. But it's because there was a lot of room. Mm-hmm. You know, we use a space that we can use. But yeah, normally God, most conventions we go to, those aisles are so small. Don't be blocking.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cosplayers, they're not. Some of them are buying things, but a lot of vendors just get mad. Not mad, but they get irritated at how many cosplayers will actually try to get attention away from people looking at the booth.
Right.
Food and drink. There's some truth to that. Definitely bring some, a bottle of water or bring something to carry your water with you and some breakfast bars. I mean, we've talked about that on the show before. Or at least have a plan because depending on where the convention's at, it's a lot of money for food.
Or you could go to 4 places in a row and they could be closed.
Like today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting all those places to be closed. Like, I know this area very well. Why is this place closed? Hey, our oven's up. We're closed too. Like, what happened? There's like events all over downtown Detroit
all use
today.
the same oven.
And all these places are closed.
They'll use the same ovens.
Anti-stench tools. If you're spending the night, yes, bring deodorant. The only reason that's on this list because there's a lot of conventions where
people camp out.
Where people camp out in the lobbies. They don't get a hotel room and they literally sleep in the lobbies, or they get a hotel room with 10 other people and they can't exactly take a shower because it's too hard to work out the system, or they're a 24-hour con, so they don't want to go back to the hotel room or anywhere. So they're like, there's something going on all night and all day. So they literally take a nap and then go back out. That's where that comes from. I think that's, hey, if you're spending the night or you're doing some physical activity, of course, bring deodorant, obviously. I think whenever you go to a place, I think this is more important to say, don't overdo yourself with cologne or fragrance, even if it's part of your cosplay. You don't know who's allergic to what.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where you're going, let's say you're going in and out of a hotel and you have to use an elevator. Those stenches linger in hotel elevators.
Yeah.
Oh my man. I think that's just daily decent advice.
Don't overdo the cologne.
Yeah, don't overdo the
choke
cologne
people out.
or perfume or any of that. So don't with your I don't know. Let's say you're cosplaying as Pigpen. I don't know what cosplays as Pigpen. That's why I'm picking that one. You don't need to smell the part.
Yeah, you do. You need to smell like crap to be Pigpen.
Oh, stop it.
So no cologne if you're being Pigpen.
This is one I don't see everyone bringing. I think it's decent advice is a sewing kit. Really? It should say repair kit.
I think if
for cosplay, that's directed at cosplayers.
That's what I think. Yeah. I mean, if you're just going in Jankos and a t-shirt, you don't really need a sewing kit.
Right. Yeah. So. Again, you don't need a repair. Everyone doesn't need a repair kit. I know some people will go to conventions with a repair kit, with a sewing kit and tape. Crazy Mark used to always keep tape all over himself and help other people with their costumes because that's the easiest way to repair a thing. And yeah, there's definitely people that bring that. I actually saw a video that was like, oh, this person is the cosplay doctor. She brings all this up. It's actually not as uncommon as that. A lot of people do that. A lot of cosplayers are prepared. I would say no, a sewing kit is not essential unless you feel like you're going to need to repair your costume or you have a very intricate costume and you have someone to carry your stuff. Yeah. Maybe leave in your hotel room or, if you even getting a hotel room.
Right.
Because this list doesn't. This list is very pointed at the San Diego Comic Con, but they probably figure they get more clicks if they expanded that.
Or they're one of those people that think that the San Diego Comic-Con's the only thing in the world.
Yep.
There are a lot of people like that, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to quite a few.
Yeah, I've heard with the whole Comic-Con copyright debacle stuff.
Yeah.
There's people like, well, yeah, of course they have the rights to that. And it's like, really? Yeah, who else would use it? But, it's like...
Everyone.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's one list. Michigan is not. Well, this one's not called Michigan Comic Con. It's called Michigan Comic Convention because con is short for convention.
Right.
So that's what we say. But yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot that use con.
And a lot of them are
locally.
changing their names because of that debacle. Because they have to, or else they'll get sued.
Right.
This is a gimme. Cell phone and charging devices. Everyone's got a cell phone. They're going to carry it with them anyway.
Yeah.
For the most part. Because it's also your camera. A lot of people use their cell phone as a camera. A charging device depends how long you're there. If it's only a 1-day con for 6 hours, unless you're constantly using video or photos. I mean, I don't think that's essential. I think it's just common sense. This is a throwaway one. Your badge/lanyard. Yeah, no. Not all Comic Cons do that. A lot of them have wristbands if you're going for 1 day. I'm holding up my wristband for my 3-day pass for Michigan Comic Convention.
These things are the worst.
Video version is different than the audio version.
They're
it's a weird.
permanent.
Yeah, it's a wrist lanyard that's permanent on your wrist, which we both broke ours off already.
Yeah.
And honestly, because this is coming out after this weekend, I have no shame saying if I'm going to go back in there, I'm just going to tie it and right on this wristband it says void if removed or tampered. And
we paid for it.
We paid for it.
Yeah.
We paid for it. I'd rather just have a badge and a lanyard.
Yeah.
So what if we hand it off to someone else? It's paid
already
for one
paid
ticket.
for.
It's already paid
Only
for
one
one
person
person
can
to use
get
at a
in.
time.
Yeah. You can't tie this around multiple people.
Yeah. I mean, of course, some people will do things like walk in with a badge, hand it to someone else.
Yeah.
And do that stuff. Especially cosplayers don't want to always wear badges either. But you know what? Whatever. I don't like these wrist things. I don't like any wristbands. I don't like them.
No, I don't either.
I understand them.
I hate the ones where they put them on you too, because sometimes they just
Put them on too tight.
they just go whoomp and cut off your circulation. I'm like, you gotta remove that and redo it. They're like, nope, can't remove it, or else you gotta buy another one. No,
I've had parties like that.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like, I already paid. Please put it on so that I'm not gonna lose my right hand.
Yeah, you got And
don't
I just
wanna
talked to
lose a
someone
limb.
yesterday that said they've had to not for this convention, but for a festival. Like, look, it's too tight. You're cutting off circulation. You need to remove this.
Yeah. Swear land. They need to just give out. It's not that expensive. We've been to ones that have just cheap pieces of paper with a hole punched in it.
Yep,
And here's
and
a
pen.
string.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a string or something, or the $1 lanyards. You can get them for like a couple cents if you go.
Yeah, the big bulk ones. Yeah,
yeah.
or
a couple cents.
there's a couple things. A lot of
Pack.
them will just have like a safety pin to pin on your shirt, and if you bring your own lanyard, good on you. Next one's a big bag. I'm very picky about my bag. Yes, I think a bag is very essential.
a bag that you can sling around you, or a
Yes.
backpack, or something that you can go hands off.
Yes. Now I think this is for any convention, professional or otherwise.
Yeah.
Any trade show. My preference is a messenger bag. So that's a bag with the sling around the shoulder, and it hangs down, and it's wide enough to put comic books in without getting damaged.
Right.
But the more important thing, the reason why I like messenger bags, is I can grab something off the table or buy my purchase and slide it right in without taking off my back.
Right.
Without mainly without taking off my back and fiddling with it. If I need something out, again, I don't have to fiddle with it and take up precious space or go find space where I can take this thing off my back.
Right.
A lot of professional trade shows will give you like a bag that like those nice handbags. Again, you're using your hand. You're not handless.
Right.
And it could get heavy. Or you got those cheap nylon bags too, which sometimes work very, very well. It's personal preference.
And yeah, carrying a bag in your hand is easy and convenient, but you never know when you need to like move something or.
Oh man, look at these guys got all the swords.
Yeah, they bought.
And a Thor's hammer too.
Yeah, they bought a lot of swords.
And they didn't have any bags with them, so they're literally holding all their purchases.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm surprised that the vendor didn't give them like a wrap for the. They are just cosplay foam.
Yeah, those are foam swords.
bobber
but if they're
swords,
real
but-
swords, yeah, they would have to wrap it.
I mean, just like a bag or something to carry it in would have been nice.
Yeah. Well, you bought. We're here for Yumacon. You bought a sword, and you had to carry that, or a sword or an axe or something. It was
What did I
about 2 or 3
buy?
years ago.
Which convention? That was
Yumacon.
Not Yumacon. I bought a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Yumacon.
Huh. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I remember being kind of mad. Like, okay, now how are you going to carry the camera on the tripod?
I still carried it.
You carried it after you ran back to the car and put away your sword.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
what
you
sword
took
I bought now.
you took the people mover back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I came back.
yeah.
I was good about it.
You
I
were.
carried everything.
You were.
Yeah.
You helped me out that.
I should have brought a bag. If it's a place that's selling swords, remember, bring a sword-sized bag.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, because if you like swords, you like swords. If you like
Yeah.
big things, anything big like posters, swords.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why I like a messenger bag, because I could fit comic books and posters in them without damaging them.
Yeah.
And I have seen people bring poster tubes with them. Stuff like that. So it's very individualized what you're doing. But if you have no idea what to bring with you, bring just at least a backpack.
Buying a sword, bring a piece of rope. That way you could just tie a strap.
Well, at least a backpack, because also how you're going to carry all these essential items with you.
Right.
And if you're a cosplayer, it's very vital to have someone with you, because if someone
You need
takes
a card
fantastic,
holder,
a card
bag holder.
yeah, a perfectly awesome person to to be able to put all the business cards you may collect or something you might buy. And if you don't, a bag is very handy. I've seen cosplayers integrate a bag into their cosplay so they can do something, or even just a pouch for their own business cards, because there's professional cosplayers out there. Or
I remember one time I don't remember if you saw it, but there was a furry we saw. It was a kangaroo, which I thought was really smart because they had a pouch to carry stuff.
Yeah, they used it for that too. Yeah.
And that's why they did it, so that they didn't have to bring a bag. They're like, well, my bag's in me.
Yeah, I've seen Batmen, because there's many of them, that use their utility belt.
Yeah, well, I saw wide pouches sometimes.
And then, of course, Assassin's Creed, Sam is still kind of mad at me for her using her Assassin's Creed pouch to hold some of my cards when she was helping me. She was like, I've been finding business cards in my costume.
Well,
a year later.
what are you using the pouch for? Never
To
leave
help me give
don't
away
leave
business
a pocket
cards.
empty. Don't leave a pocket empty.
Oh, this is important. Comfortable shoes.
Yeah, I regret wearing my shoes today.
Number 4. This is dated. I think this has changed. It says cash. I did not have to. I have no cash on me.
I like bringing cash. I just like cash in general.
Okay, I understand that, just because it's easier.
It's easier, and that way I don't have to, because it's a danger with your card because of all the crap that goes on with cards.
But most vendors are pretty good, and I keep a really close eye.
I'm
on
also
my
very
accounts.
paranoid, so I bring.
I have an RFID card wallet.
I know, I want one. I like those. Those are really good wallets. I really want.
I stopped carrying cash because it just became like a fumbling thing. 2, because it's just easier without it, and all the people there are kind of like, oh yeah, he's got money, I'm going to press him, because people can see what you got on you.
Right.
It's just one less thing to worry about. I understand having cash on you, especially if you're traveling.
Right.
Especially if you're traveling, I understand having cash on you. That makes sense. I just don't like to carry a lot of cash on me, because honestly, most vendors today will take credit card. If they don't take credit card, there's something weird with that. I mean, honestly, we go to I don't know how many events a year. We've gone to really tiny events and we've gone to big events. Very rarely do we find a vendor that isn't set up for credit cards. If we do, it's usually because it's like their first or second con, like they just started.
Yeah.
And there's usually someone willing to help you out or an ATM nearby,
Yeah.
if you do so incline. Yeah. A good attitude. Wow, they couldn't think of anything else, I guess. I mean, I understand a good attitude because a bad attitude.
Where's the good attitude store at? I want to get one.
I mean, I understand it because negativity breeds negativity.
Yeah, but if you don't, wow, look at that car. Sorry, but if you don't want to talk to people, don't talk to people. If you want to talk to people, talk to people.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. If you want to be,
because if something puts you in a bad mood, your mood's gonna go off to other people. But also, you're in a bad mood. You're human. Everyone is human.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's people that thought really negative of you one day when you're having a bad day, and I know there's times where I was having a bad day and people thought of me. I've had people start telling me, it's like, you know what? When I first met you, I thought you were a dick.
Right.
Because they met me at a party and I asked them not to take pictures of me because I was drinking. I don't like people taking pictures of me. At parties, at private parties, when we're all drinking, and you are a professional photographer taking pictures for a website, a magazine, or anything where you intend to publicly display your pictures, please don't take pictures of me after business hours at a private party when I'm drinking.
Especially if it's in like a hotel room or something. Yeah, I don't think you should take.
Yes, it was in a hotel room.
I don't think you should take pictures in hotel rooms at all. Like, unless it's like,
unless it's everyone knows.
Yeah,
if it's an
like,
event.
oh, it's a sewing.
If there's something to take pictures
something.
you say a sewing room because we've been to a sewing party before, and and they straight up say, hey, look, don't take pictures of the creations,
not the people,
unless they know of it. But yeah, people that go into a party where everyone's drinking and starts photographing everything, that's a bad idea in several regards. One of which is if you're drinking, you legally can't give consent.
Right.
So you are taking pictures on private property at
no
a private
consent.
event at a hotel room
where
people cannot give consent. I'm not speaking negative of any of these people that did it. I'm just saying they thought I was a dick for saying no.
Yeah, it's not.
And also, there are days I'm having a bad day. It happens. It happens. Or I'm busy. You never know. You get positive is awesome. It's just I don't always expect it because some people are busy. You just don't know. People are people,
Yeah.
And some people get really, really anxious around a ton of people. So leave them alone.
Right.
Water, yes.
Yes, agreed. Wait, they already said that. They said food and drink.
Yes, they did.
So they really did run out of things to say.
They probably want something more than a top 10. Germ killers. Well, yeah, disinfectant or something. Yeah, I used to carry disinfectant with me. Of course, people look at you weird when you put it on your hands after shaking hands, but at the same time, you're shaking hands with a million people. It's just...
It's for your safety and my safety, just so no one gets sick.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick. You don't want to get sick. Let's not get sick. You want some?
Also, because it says bring food or drink, but let's be honest, you're not carrying your full lunch and dinner with you if you're going to place.
Right.
No, you can't, unless you're a vendor with a cooler.
Right.
It's not happening. So you're probably going to buy food at some point. And if you're buying food at the hotel or convention space, you might not always be able to go to the bathroom and wash your hands. Often, you don't know where the bathroom is, and you're just handed something to eat. Like even if you're at an amusement park, man, you can't run and always wash your hands. At least you can have some disinfectant for your hands, and it's something, So yeah, I usually carry some with me. I don't have any on me today when we're walking around.
You're right. We didn't shake hands with too many people.
No, we did.
A couple of them had gloves on.
But we also washed our hands before we ate. We knew
Yeah.
that we're going to go somewhere else to eat too, which is you're going to be standing up the whole time at a con, or you won't be standing up.
No, there's seating.
Sometimes you're seating,
And if there's no seating, you have a floor and wall.
yeah.
Like, we see people, there's plenty of open seats. They go to the wall and sit down and eat on the floor because they'd rather do that.
Well, I mean, some cons don't have any open seating. Sometimes it's really. We've been to places where we've literally walked for like 5-10 minutes trying to find a place to sit to eat. It does happen. I mean, it's just one of those things that happens. I mean, you could pre-scout and have someone sit in front of you, but often I've been to many events by myself where I can't do that.
Right.
I guess that's something to debunk. You could totally go to an event by yourself. It's more fun with friends.
But you don't need friends to go to one, and they're fun enough.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad because there was a really awesome cosplayer today wearing. It was an elf meets Ewok.
Walk, yeah.
Yeah, so it was an elf
With a
Ewok
cat skewered on his spear. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great cosplay. I think this guy was looking for friends because he was walking around by himself.
Yeah.
I bet you if we invited him to walk with us,
He would have.
he would have.
And,
At the
we
same
could have gotten him
time,
to pose at a lot of places if we wanted to. He would have posed for us too anywhere we wanted.
Oh yeah, I mean that. Then again, we were mostly guests today, just hanging out as a normal attendee, and are hanging out with us when we're doing our video thing, and it's different than what a normal attendee will want to do. Even when we are normal attendees, we're so stuck on doing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. Like yesterday, I walked around with Dave Herndon, and he knows what we both know a lot of people at these conventions. He knows more, and he will sit and talk to everybody for a long period of time. Sometimes that's the only times he sees them.
Right.
I'm content with just saying hi and talking for like 2 minutes, and then I get anxious and want to move on. So yeah, there's no harm in walking around by yourself. Different people have different reasons to be somewhere. And I don't think there's any harm in only going to a expo for a half a day and not being there the entire time or all 3 days. The majority of the people we seen today only had 1 day passes.
Yeah.
And there is stuff going on tonight. So right there, that debunks that you have to be there the entire time.
Yeah, there's always stuff to do at these things.
Not always.
There's usually
A good amount of
usually,
it depends on the expo or convention.
Yeah, how big it is. Because a tiny one,
Yeah.
they're set time. But big ones usually have something going on.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of weird they have to do research. Like this one, they didn't give out programs. And they said they're online, but I couldn't find it online. Because they have a ton of panels, but nothing's listed. And it took us a while to find the panel rooms because there was only one sign, and that's when you're already on the way to the panel room.
Yeah.
Or panel
and it's
wing.
really, really small sign, like on a piece of paper
Yeah.
with pencil. Really
And this
small,
is a decent sized convention. So we've been to a lot of smaller conventions
where they have big old signs.
Oh yeah, some of them have a lot of signage. Some of them also prepare for it all year round.
Yeah.
And they keep their signs from year to year, so they don't put things like dates on them. And you can't always do that for a convention. Sometimes conventions, it's cheaper for them to buy something brand new every single year than it is to pay for storage. So that's why at some conventions you'll see whole new signage every year because it's cheaper for them than paying for storage. So go figure.
Right.
Hi, you're gonna wave. You're gonna wave. You're gonna wave. They're not waving.
They noticed you have a wheel missing, and they're like, "Man, he can't even afford to keep all his wheels on."
Yeah. What's another big one? I'm gonna look for another list.
That wheel looks like it's about to fall off.
Besides me falling on my butt because I'm missing a wheel. What's another major misconception or something you feel like people should bring with them? Anything about convention wise that you would give as advice?
Always make sure that whoever's taking a picture of you, it has permission to do so. because there's been some conventions that I've been to and you've been to where people are just going around snapping photos of people without permission.
So
And-
not so much taking pictures of you, but if you're taking pictures of someone else,
right, either what,
or someone with you too.
right, like always have permission, or make sure that there's not just pictures being taken with no permission given, because
Yeah.
that can lead to other problems.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about that on this show over and over and over again. Permission is a big thing.
Yeah.
Also, cosplay is not consent. It's not consenting to a picture. It's not consenting to hang out with you. It's not consenting for anything. And although I agree, sometimes like with a big cosplay group, them doing something like a parade or performing, yes, they want you to take pictures. They're totally open to it, or else they wouldn't be performing. However, everyone has a bad day. You don't know if that cosplayer has everything ready for a picture, because there's been times like, oh yeah, that cosplayer's good to go, and then they do something like add an extra piece or gloves or something.
Yeah.
So you don't know, even if you're even if
There's
you know the
Mario and
character.
Waluigi on scooters.
Nice. I wish the camera was pointed at it. They're on the electric bird scooters. A Wario and a Waluigi. That's awesome. So I can't wait to be in here during YumaCon. I will be here on the free day of YumaCon, so not
Okay.
that Saturday, but because I always take that weekend off. I'm sorry, I take Halloween
Hey,
off for
I might be able
myself.
to be on the podcast again. Yay!
Well, I mean, you have to find your own way out here.
Okay.
Okay, let me find another list. 33 items that should be at your trade show packing list. Let's see if this is for attendees or vendors. This is for vendors, it looks like. Oh, no, it's yep. Let's see here. We'll go through this real quick. Signage, yes. Promo items. Who needs maybe business cards? I hate seeing my business cards on the floor.
Yeah.
Business card holders if I have a booth.
Yeah.
Giveaways? No, dude, no. How many booths do we see with giveaways? Not many. Not many.
There were two.
I've been at booths.
There was only
and
one
worked.
this time, and it was giving away candy. But the other one was.
There was 3 that I saw.
I only saw one.
Yeah.
The other one
see?
he said was exclusive for veterans. He said only
Oh,
veterans
yeah.
get a giveaway.
Oh no! I'm talking about like lottery ones. That wasn't a lottery.
Oh, lottery ones? Yeah, I didn't see
I saw
many.
3.
I saw one.
Yeah. See, they people will literally like reach out and try to get people to go. And I don't think giveaways. Someone once told me when you're introducing yourselves to a lot of people, it's about the way you make them feel and not what you give them. And that's the biggest takeaway. That's why you bring a good attitude with you.
Right.
I lost mine a while ago.
Can I buy a new one?
Containers to hold your giveaways. That same thing. Bowl for business cards. While we're you don't need that.
Stop repeating yourself. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
They're just,
Name tags. What do you think your badge is for? Table linens when they're not supplied. When they're not supplied.
When they're not, yeah.
I keep table linens in my convention kit for sure when I have a booth, because you don't know if they're always supplied or not.
Right.
Yesterday, one of the vendors we know, she didn't bring a blanket, but she brought or someone else brought a table linen. And she was cold, so she was wrapped up with a table linen because all the booths already had skirts on them. So, so she was wrapped up in hers as a blanket. Presentation, video, media, only if you're presenting. See, this is like kind of for anything. Office supplies, pens, pencils. Yes, I think everyone should have a pen with them, because you don't know.
Right.
Because you don't know, you might have to write something down, or at least your cell phone, because you can use your cell phone to write things down, or just follow someone on Twitter right there and then.
Right.
Scissors, only if they're for something particular. I have a multi-tool that has scissors on them.
Yeah.
Sharpies, already covered that. Note pens, Post-its, you're gonna lose stuff. Rubber bands, you're gonna lose stuff. Paper clips,
Don't
you're gonna
bring
lose
rubber
stuff.
bands anyway.
Stapler, you're gonna lose stuff. Tape. possibly in a repair kit. Or when I do conventions, I keep some tape on me too, because cables, tape your cables down. Technology depends on who you are. Computer, TV, iPad. Okay, let me look at this
bring
event
the TV
here.
with me.
33 items that should be on your trade show packing list by May Create Design. And I don't see an author credited here.
Cool, a robot wrote it.
Yeah, a robot wrote this.
Nice.
I'm looking. I don't see an author. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're doing. A lot of people have iPads with them because that's what they use for their credit cards. So it depends what you're doing. I mean, I've had TVs on our booth showing previous episodes. Computer, iPad charger, same thing. Stop repeating yourself. Appropriate cords to connect. Stop repeating yourself. Extension cord. Stop repeating yourself.
They need to really fill
other
out
supplies,
that 33 items.
safety pins. Stop repeating yourself.
Here's some advice for when you make a
Straight
list of
pens.
stuff. If you're going to make a list of stuff, don't say 33 things or something. Do your list first and then say how many items are on your list.
Condensing. Because now normally when I see a list like that that's repeating themselves, and you have to click next. Yeah, they're just trying to sell advertisements. This was pretty well organized, just straight number down. Condense yourself as a writer. Whatever you're writing, if you're repeating yourself, think about not to repeat yourself. I don't pre-write the podcast. I don't know what I'm going to say in advance. That's why I do end up repeating myself. And I don't know what kind of Mario that kid is, but it is amazing. So this kid's wearing a blue hat, what looks like a silver lightning bolt, a blue shirt, and a white overalls. So I don't know who he is, but it definitely looks like a Mario World-esque character, and it looked great.
Could be from Odyssey. I don't know all the costumes in Mario Odyssey. That's the new one.
If you know, let us know.
Yeah.
I thought that looked great. And if you want to buy any of these, if you need to buy items, if you're preparing to do something or a cosplay, or just in general buy from Amazon, use smile.amazon. It doesn't cost you anything more. This is not a paid sponsorship for them. This is just simply, if you're going to buy something on Amazon, if you use smile.amazon, a little bit of the proceeds goes to a charity. It doesn't cost you anything more. It's just like Amazon Prime. Or if you have Amazon Prime, everything applies. So you're not. The only thing that's different is that a little portion will go to a charity of your choice. And of course, here being representing, or at least we're syndicated on DV Radio, I have mine set to DV Farm. Check out dvfarm.org. It's a good charity. They do need stuff. It's a homeless veteran charity. Check it out. And if you want to help out and can't really supply a donation, go ahead and go to smile.amazon and make them your charity of choice. And you could choose another charity. I won't judge. It makes sense. I totally understand. I won't judge. Speaking of repeating things, I kind of just want to think about other things that definitely need to be debunked, or things people don't think about. We mentioned food. We even mentioned about walking around or pre-play. I just want to make it clear. You do not have to eat at the convention center or event place. Unless you cannot leave. Like a Renaissance Festival, you can't exactly leave depending on what's going on or where you're at.
Usually you're out in the middle of nowhere, and there might be a McDonald's 3 miles down the road.
Yeah. But usually at a hotel, if you're doing something at a hotel or a convention center, there are in and out privileges. You don't have to eat there.
Right.
You don't have to eat there. I want to stress that. And, if you're traveling, look around where you are. Sometimes it's cool. If you're downtown Detroit, you might want to walk around downtown Detroit a little bit. There's people that come out of town that we meet up here, and they don't even want to walk a block to get something cheaper. I just want a burger. And they end up paying like $25 for a burger at the convention versus going down the street to pay maybe $15, maybe $8, maybe it's a McDonald's, and because you don't have much money,
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. I know over in Novi, it's kind of fun to go to the local just go down the street a little bit and see all the cosplayers sitting around eating pizza at this fantastic pizza joint. I know you don't like pizza.
I don't like pizza.
I know you don't like pizza.
I don't like pizza.
Did we tell you that he didn't like pizza?
I don't like pizza.
But yeah, another thing to debunk. Not all cosplayers want to be your friend. Don't bug them. And not all cosplayers are antisocial. People are people. It's just that people are people. Not everybody that cosplays has some kind of hidden thing. I've watched some of these furry convention videos, and there's a lot of politics and things that go with them. Just people are people. Keep that in mind. Don't judge people or what they're wearing or what they're doing. Just treat it like you have no idea. The funniest thing is some people that cosplay don't even know the character they're cosplaying. So I've seen that. And also, it's just everyone's individual. Everybody's an individual. You're an individual. Someone's yelling at the screen. If you disagree with me, let me know. Wow, sometimes sitting on a fishbowl is hard.
Yeah, she stared me down hard.
I thought she was staring at me.
She's staring at me.
No, she was staring at me, bro.
I made eye contact.
I made eye contact.
Man, she must have four
He
eyes.
made eye contact. What was I saying?
I don't remember.
Individuals are individuals. If you have anything to add, join the conversation. You could join the conversation on YouTube, Facebook. We have a group on Facebook. We have a page on Facebook, Media Litter Sandwich group, Media Litter Sandwich page, Toaden page. We didn't really talk about Brad too much here. He's third hand B13.
14.
14. Oh, you aged.
No, it's still 14. It's always been 14.
Yeah, so you could mostly, if you want to talk to him, you could go and join the group and say something to him too. I swear he's older than what he looks.
Yeah, I'm not 12. I'm 13. Thank you. No.
Well, that explains the drink you bought me, why I can't taste anything.
Hey, you
No, it's
said
actually really good.
mixed drink.
No, it's really good, actually.
He asked for a mixed drink. I was going to give him straight rum.
No, it's a really good drink. Always a shout out to Foundation Hotel and the apparatus room. They're fantastic over there. If you like this, please share it. Especially share it to your convention friends, for sure. Because there's definitely people that will disagree with what we said. And there's people that would be like, wow, it took you an hour to say this? And also glad that someone else is saying it. There's a million YouTube videos with these lists, and they're always repeating the same things. They're always repeating, bring wipes with you, bring this, bring that, take a shower. But they also think that there's only one kind of convention, whether it be anime or comics. And I will say this. If you're going to a convention, no, you don't have to buy a ticket to hang out in the lobby.
Right.
But if you're planning to participate, buy a freaking ticket.
Yeah, don't be a leech.
Don't be a leech. Don't hang out in the lobby trying to grab people's passes and stuff. Maybe this is what that don't forget your badge is. Just buy a ticket or something. Don't be a leash. Don't be one of the people that go there just to go to a party or something, but that aren't even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I totally understand being poor and you're not. Just don't keep trying to sneak in and stuff like that. Don't do that. It's okay to miss an event once in a while. In fact, you're not missing much. Unless you know in advance or something you really want, you're probably not missing much. It's okay. You go there for fun, but it's not a needful have-to-go-to thing.
That person also bought something and didn't have a bag. So
Yeah,
they're carrying
I
it.
didn't see any free bags at this convention.
No.
Well, a lot of Comic-Cons and anime conventions don't give out bags.
No,
Professional ones do. A lot of professional trade shows will give out bags. But still, it's not your preferred bag. I mean, depending on what your preferred bag is.
Right.
Okay, so anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed our discussion. Please follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. what was I gonna say?
Something.
And may the algorithms be in your favor. Oh my God! I almost fell again.
You're pushing the carpet back.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
You're gonna get a heckle.
out of the chair. I'm out of the chair.
Someone's gonna say something about you breaking the chairs.
No, they're not.